Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about the 10 important points which will be very much useful for any student who is preparing for any particular competitive exam. So let's start with our first point. The first point is you should always start your preparation with the positive attitude. Now what exactly this positive attitude means? Whenever the student starts preparing for some particular exam, what happens is he is having some kind of fear for some particular subject of that exam. Now I want to say here that you should not have your pre-assumption before actually starting for your preparation for any subject of that exam. For example, if I want to give the student who is preparing for NEET from the seniors or from somehow, I don't know, there are n number of reasons, but the student is having a feeling that the physics is difficult. Or the student who is having a commerce background and willing to go for banking exam feels somewhere that mathematics is difficult. Or the student who is having a good engineering or maths and logical reasoning background and who is preparing for MBA entrance exams feels that the English is difficult. So these are the different subjects he feels just before starting the preparation that those are difficult, and that is what I want to say, that the preparation with a negative attitude. So you should not have any assumption for any particular subject of exam which you are giving before starting its preparation. Later on, if it is difficult, how to overcome that we will see, but you should not assume anything in the beginning itself, and you should be always positive, and in that sense I'm saying you should always start your preparation with the positive attitude. Okay, so we started with the preparation with the positive attitude. Now what is the point number 2? That you should always have the proper books in your hand. So you are having very good positive attitude, but the books which you are referring are not proper, then irrespective of how sincerely you are preparing for, it is not going to be of complete use. If you are going for the book which is not covering all the topics, then it is of no use at all. So you should always choose proper books. There shouldn't be 10, 20, 15 books. I have seen many students preparing for this publication, that publication, and going through it in detail. It is not necessary. And sometimes what happens in that they cannot able to complete through any of the book properly. So you should always discuss with your teachers, your seniors who have scored very well in these exams, and purchase those books and finish them only. So this was the point number 2, that is you must have the proper books in your hand. So you should start with the positive attitude, you should have the proper books. Now comes the point number 3. That is, whenever some particular topic is getting taught to you people, you should try to finish that topic at the same time. You should not keep any work pending. If at all by chance due to some reason some particular part is remaining, you should finish on the Sunday of that particular week. Sunday should be utilized for it. You should not keep it beyond Sunday. You extend your limits, you sleep for a lesser amount of time for those particular days, but you should finish the taught topic by your own at the same time. Okay, how one should go through it? So whenever you are going to read that particular, you should always refer and have the notes which will be made by you. So teacher has taught something, you have those notes, and then when you are reading, you should also have your own notes, because these notes are going to help you in the end. So this was the point number 3, that you should not keep any work as a pending part. Then comes the point number 4, and that is the most important point. I'm saying it is very up to infinity. It is very important point, and that point is revision. You should always revise your topics every day. Now how, I'll tell, but what happens in the beginning when you start, you have done the first topic wonderfully, then you did second, then you did third, then you did fourth, then you did fifth, and then 11, 12, 13. The point when I will be at the topic number 13, you will start forgetting the topic number 1, 2, 3. Just imagine that you have done topic 1 wonderfully. You will be able, you were at that time you were able to solve all the simple as well as difficult questions very easily. But now what happens if you don't have a revision? When you are on a 13th topic, you won't be even able to solve the simple questions of the first or second topic. And then what happen is you have to give the same amount of time which you have already given when you were first time preparing for those topics. and then it disturbs your complete preparation. And how one can avoid this? That my suggestion will be that every day when you go to sleep, just 1 hour before going to sleep, say if I sleep at 11, then 10 to 11 I must revise some particular previous topic of any subject, whatever you want. And then in the next day, in the morning, first 1 hour of the morning must be given to the revision. This is mandatory. Before going to bed, you should have that book near to you, and when you will wake up, immediately the first 1 hour of your study must be revision. So if you follow this, that during night before going to bed, just 1 hour before going to bed, you are revising the previous topic, and 1 hour in the morning just before starting your day for study, you should revise the previous topic. If you follow this, believe on me that you will be very happy and you will be confident enough, because you now are doing the regular topic systematically, and at the same time your revision is also going on, so now you are covering it properly. So what are the points which we have discussed? Point number 1, start your preparation with the positive attitude. Point number 2, that you should have the proper books with you. Point number 3, you should always prepare at the same time when it was getting taught. None of the pending work should be kept, and your proper notes should be taken down. Point number 4, revision, very, very, very important. Whatever 10 points I am discussing, in that this 4th point is very important. If you don't follow this 4 point, even if you go through 9 points systematically, it will not be of any use. So you must do the proper revision. Now coming to the point number 5. That whenever that topic has been made and taught and you have done it systematically, you should solve enough number of questions on it. Enough number of questions from some particular practice book. And then the second important point in this, that when you have solved the enough number of questions and when you are confident enough about that topic, you should always go through past year question of that topic. You must always have the past year question bank book topic wise with you for the exam which you are preparing for. So when you have done the enough practice through the problem solving book, you must go through the past year question of that exam. Now when you will be going through the past year questions, you will realize that whether your preparation is on a right track or not. So you should always solve those past year questions with the proper time, considering that same amount of time is there for the paper. So if in the paper there is 3 minutes for that particular question, you should try to solve that question in 3 minutes. And in this way, take a questions of group of 10, then group of 10, group of 10, and in this way you solve 10 questions in 30 minutes, considering 3 minutes per question. That will vary. Then solve those 10 questions. If it is of 1 minute, solve 30 questions, 30 minutes, then take a break, analyze what you were doing, then what was a mistake you were doing, and then in this way see whether your preparation is on a right track or not. This is very, 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 very important. So you are solving enough questions, and after that going through the past year questions is mandatory. Okay, if at that particular point you realize that you cannot solve the past year questions, it clearly indicates that your preparation is going in a wrong direction. You might feel that the first 4 points you are doing wonderfully, but if with the 5th point you cannot able to solve actual past year questions, it clearly indicates that your preparation is going in a wrong direction. In that case, what has to be done? Meet your teachers, try to rectify why you are committing a mistake, go through the theory properly and understand the questions which you were not able to solve. So this was the point number 5. Okay, so up to point number 5 I have done systematically. Now come the point number 6. That whenever you have solved enough number of questions and past year questions, you should actually solve the practice paper of the pattern of your actual exam. So say my first topic is done up to 5 points which I have told to you. Then I must go for the actual test similar to the pattern of your final exam for that first topic. Then in this way you should do the topic wise test of in the pattern of what your exam is asking for. So I have done the first topic, I have solved the topic wise test. Then second topic wise test. Third topic wise test. Then combine these three topics, and on these three topics give one particular test. So in this way you should consistently keep solving the papers topic wise, then grouping some particular topics and test on it. In this way you should proceed further. So gradually you will give topic wise test is mandatory, then quarter syllabus test, half syllabus test, 3/4 syllabus test, and then in the end you must solve all the full syllabus test. This is very important, solving enough number of papers of the pattern of your exam in a time, in a situation, how you are going to solve that paper in the final exam is very, very, very important. Now, you have done all these things. After that, just solving paper is not sufficient. You must do the proper analysis of each and every paper. Now, while doing the analysis, what has to be done? That check that which questions you were not able to solve. Whenever you are solving a paper, do the rough work very systematically. In the sense, I'm not saying that it should be neat, but it should be in such a way that if I want to see the question number 24, what I was doing, then from your rough work, you should able to pick out that yes, this is what I was doing for question number 24. Then you will go through the solution, and then you will realize that what you were doing and what you should have done for that particular question. Then when you will not able to solve some questions, you should categorize them, that why I was not able to solve those questions. So reason number one, whether my theory was weak, whether my formula was not learned, whether theory was known, formula were known, but I cannot able to apply that, the concept was altogether different. So there will be n number of reasons that why you were not able to solve, or some calculation mistakes. Now if those mistakes can be avoided, it's okay, fine. But if those mistakes are genuine, you should make a note of it. Now remember one particular thing, that whenever you are solving a paper, that solving paper is important, but more important than that is doing the proper analysis of it. Okay, many a times I have seen that the students are keeping those papers and then making a bunch of papers and then going through them. One should not do this. Now when you were doing the analysis, you should have taken all the notes from it. You remember that how the juice of sugarcane is taken out. You just put that sugarcane and you extract all the juice, and then whatever is the remaining you throw out. In the same way you have to do with the papers. You should always extract all the data. The questions which you were able to solve, you will able to solve in future also with the proper revision if you are following the point number 4. And the questions which you were not, you already noted down. So now why you want to go through those question paper again? Just throw it, just keep it for juniors. You don't have to refer that. You have extracted all the data from it, and that is how one should solve the paper. So this is a point number 6. So what was the point number 1? The point number 1 was you should start with the positive attitude. Point number 2, you must have the proper books. Point number 3, that you should do your preparation at the same time when it was getting taught. Point number 4, that you should always do revision regularly. Point number 5, you should solve the enough practice question and past year question. Point number 6, you should solve the proper papers of those topic wise, subtopic wise, or even group of topics, and doing the proper analysis. You follow the 6 points, these are very important. Now I am going for point number 7, and that point number 7 may not be applicable for every student. But yes, many students I have seen that for first 3 months, 6 months, 10 months, or even for a year, they do wonderfully. But later on what happens is they get bored. Now there are various reasons why they get bored, and they start preparing in a less energy, or they reduce their efforts. Now you have to check that why it is happening. So here comes the point number 7, that whenever you are getting bored, you just verify that why you are getting bored. There are various reasons that earlier the topics which were getting taught were understood properly, but now whatever is getting taught, I don't understand what exactly is going on. This may happen with the student, and then he may get bored, because see, you get bored something because you are not interested. And why you are not interested? Because you are not getting it. So you must get whatever is getting taught. If that is the problem, that the whatever is getting taught I am not getting, or the topics are becoming difficult, it means you are not putting that much efforts which you were putting earlier. So what you must do, your immediate action should be what? That immediately At the same time, you should go through that theory again and again and again. Meet your teachers, get your concepts clear, and make that topic easy and make it more and more interesting. Once you do that, the problem will be solved. The second reason why you are getting bored is because now you are getting distracted. You are having a distractions due to WhatsApp, due to Facebook, due to Instagram, due to YouTube, due to different apps which are showing the different movies or the web series, and or some students might have the problem of the computer games, means they feel that they should play the game and they are wasting their time. If these are the things which are distracting you, someone might be wasting their time in the matches which are there, say every day, every match they are watching, or they start with the 5 hours of watching and they end up with the 15-20 overs completely. So you have the different types of distractions, or sometimes some particular function will be there, I'm preparing for it for a month, and then I got distracted because of it. There are n number of reasons why there will be distractions. So you should always think of the distractions which are coming in and you should try to avoid them. This is the point number 7. Now the question comes that how we will avoid the distractions. So here comes the point number 8. That whenever, remember carefully, whenever you are having some particular distractions and they are overcoming you, it means your goal is not yet completely flowing through your body. It's not fixed. So here comes the point number 8, that you should always write your goal on a piece of paper and stick it to the wall. The moment you forgot about it, what you must do, you should see that particular goal. Now, why I'm saying this? You might have heard this technique from many people. Your teachers, your friends, your parents, your family members might have told you, seniors, that you should stick that your goal on a wall and keep watching it. Well, just watching it is not going to give you anything. That you are just daydreaming, you are watching that I'm becoming an engineer, doctor, I'm checking patients, or working in a bank, or IS officer, or a good management person, depending on the exam which you are preparing for. But that daydreaming shouldn't be there. So here comes the most important point, that the goal should be in your mind and that stuck part should always motivate you. Now, here again comes the problem that teacher cannot motivate you every day. So you have to keep motivating yourself every time. Always you have to keep motivating yourself. You should always think positive. Now, to keep motivate yourself, this is very important. One of the point that you should always keep motivating yourself. But to keep motivating yourself, again, you will need something. So point number 8 is that you should motivate yourself, you should remove all distraction, you should only focus on your goals. But here comes the point number 9, that how I will keep on motivating myself and keep a record of my everyday preparation. And that is why the point number 9 is there. Now, many students say that I was studying for 4 hours, but it was just 3-4 pages, I could able to finish it out. Now, this problem can be avoided if you follow this point number 9. Now, what exactly this point number 9 is? Well, when you start your preparation of your day, you keep a record of your time and see what you are doing in that. For example, I may give you a simple example. You start with the simple thing that you are reading a page and you have read first paragraph, then second, then third. Then close your eyes and try to recollect that what was there in the first paragraph, what was there in the second, what was there in the third. Become your self-teacher and explain it to yourself. Remember, if you can explain it to yourself, means you have understood. If you can recollect the formulas, means you have done it properly. And if by chance you cannot able to tell it yourself, explain it yourself, if now just after reading, just 5 minutes before you have read it, and now you cannot explain, how you will able to explain after 3 months, 6 months, 1 year down the line and at the time of exam. So you have to cross-check yourself that whether whatever I am reading, is it effective or not? Or I'm just sitting, reading for 4 hours, putting together and just wasting my time. You will have to check it. And how? That after completing 1 page, you close your eyes, explain yourself. Gradually what you should do is, you should finish up 4-5 pages, close your eyes and then explain. Then over the period of time, you will study for 3 hours, close your eyes for 5 to 10 minutes, try to tell yourself what you have done in those 3 hours. So naturally what you are doing here, that you are checking that whatever you are reading, have you understood or not, and secondly you are removing all kind of distractions which are coming, because consistently your brain is engaged in this particular thing. How it can think of something different? Because brain at the same time cannot have the two thoughts going in their mind completely. So when you are completely focused, when you are reading it, when you are consistently revising it, telling yourself, explaining yourself, becoming yourself teacher, it is automatically going to help you. And how it is going to help you? First, your topic will be wonderfully done, and second, that you will be removing those kind of distractions which were coming. So this is the point number 9, that you should keep a record. And then in the end, over the period of time, say after 6 months of quite good practice in this way, initially you are doing page by page, then 3-4 page, then hours together, then 3 hours together, and then gradually you should keep this 3 hours. After completing a study of 3 hours, you should close eyes, and what you did in a 3 hours, you should write it down. And then every day in the night, when you are doing the revision for last 1 hour, after that, after doing that revision of last 1 hour for 5 to 10 minutes, you should always find the what and try to analyze what you have done throughout the day. Note down where you have wasted time unnecessarily. See, remember, when you are preparing for your competitive exam, then you should be having a complete focus on that exam. Secondly, you should be only doing those activities which are going to accelerate your preparation and help you for that particular exam. If you are unnecessarily wasting your time in unnecessary thing, then you are actually running away from your success. So follow these 9 points. Now, sir, you said that there are 10 points. Yes. Now the 10 point is summary of all 9. And I just want to say that if you want to follow these 9 points systematically, then here comes the point number 10, that following these 9 points systematically, you should be always studying at a place where no one is there other than you. It should be completely without any kind of distraction. You are the only one who is in that particular room studying properly. No one is there to distract. If by chance it is not possible for some students, it may happen that I don't have a separate room. Okay, doesn't matter. You join some particular library where all the students surrounding you are preparing for it. Point is that if you want to succeed and follow these 9 steps properly, you should be doing your study at a place where there is complete calmness. You are the only one surrounded by no one or the students who are consistently doing their study. You should always join a library where the silence is maintained. Otherwise, it is not going to help joining that particular library. So I hope that if you follow these particular 10 points, then no one can stop you to get the success.